when you're building your marketplace and you have your chicken and egg problem, the easiest place to start is with supply, because the sellers on the platform are financially motivated to be on the platform. And I would go to them and set low expectations, saying, hey, we're launching this. We're free to launch at the beginning, or we take just a rake. Be in there. But here's the key, and here's the pro tip. It's easy to have infinite supply. But if you drown your marketplace in infinite supply and you don't have demand for it, they're all going to churn and they're not going to be engaged. So when you launch, you curate the very best supply for it in one vertical, in one category, maybe even in one geography, like in one zip code. And then you find demand for that. And so first of all, they're the very best. So you make sure they're engaged. You make sure they understand what the product is. You understand what their needs are. Then you find demand for them, whatever way it is. It could be sales driven, it could be marketing, it could be Google, it could be Facebook. And by the way, I actually like paid marketing to work, because that means it's scalable kind of infinitely. You find demand, and what you wanted to get to for that supply, and again, very limited supply, highly curated, you want to represent, if it's an item for sale, you want the probability of the item for sale to be about 25%. That's when you have pretty good liquidity. If it's a services business, you want to kind of represent at least 20% of the revenues of that provider. And then once you have that at that scale, then you scale the supply up one more, like whether it's in the same zip code or adjacent category, and then you match. So you start with supply, you bring demand, and then you scale both always in parallel. A problem is that it's so easy to get supply that I could launch a locksmith marketplace and put every locksmith in New York on it, but then you have no demand for it, and so the supply is going to churn. There's going to be no engagement. The user experience will be awful, et cetera. So doing that is key.